That's fast. Who is online now?
Let's see. If you're online. Hi, Angeline. Angeline's online now.
Hello. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Weeknights with Wonder Girls by Travel Wonder. I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Mabel. Hello.
In a while later, we will be taking a virtual journey to Mongolia. We have a guest presenter in the holding room waiting right now. Meanwhile, let's see who is online with us. Say hi in the comments so that we know who is here.
We have Angeline online at the moment. So if you're online, don't feel shy. Feel free to say hi, drop us a greeting.
Yes, we can see that there are a few viewers at the present moment. Hello, Angeline. How are you doing in Korea right now? Let's
I
see,
think in
anybody
Korea must be
else?
very cold at the moment.
I would think so, because now it's in February. All right, probably we need to let our viewers to warm up a little bit, huh? Okay, she asked where is the Mongolian fan?
Yes.
Coming soon. She's so excited. She can't wait. Okay, so we shall not let our guest presenter wait too long. Mongolia, known as the land of eternal blue sky, has over 250 days of sunshine in a year. It is a paradise for active holidays. Its nature reserve can offer wonderful landscapes for hiking and freedom cycling that is suitable for all levels of hikers and cyclists. You will also get to see lots of wildlife, then you will see humans. So if you find that the auto caption is getting in your way to enjoy the presentation later on, you can follow the step on the screen here to switch it off. So before we uncover some of the hidden secrets of Mongolia, here's a video preview of the destination. Let's whet your appetite first. Here you go. Enjoy.
Let me be your bogeyman. I'll be around the yard all night long. Let me be your boogeyman. I'm gonna scream like a hound.
was that, Mabel? Has it ignite your fire
Oh.
to go to Mongolia?
Oh yes, that's such a great video. I think it truly captured the essence of what Mongolia has to offer. And it's so nice to see so many
Indeed.
familiar faces in the video as well.
Indeed. Please join me us to welcome our friend all the way from Mongolia, Buggy.
Hi
Hello,
Buggy, welcome.
Buggy.
Hello. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Mabel.
Hi,
So,
hi.
hi, and hi to everyone on this live talk. Thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah, it's a great.
Adeline says hi to you too.
All right. I mean, I see. Is Adeline there?
Yes, if you remember
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. Sure. I do remember. Yeah. Yes, and it's an honor to be here, and then I'm very glad to be invited to tell about my country. That you can see on journeys with the Wonder Girls. Yeah, and well, yeah. I mean, I think to start with, I should probably give you just a small,
Yes, just a
you know.
little, just a little while, Buggy. Yeah.
Okay.
So before we have Buggy here online, we have this little conversation, and Buggy was asking us about, um, how is the weather like here in Singapore? And when we asked him back, he said, oh, today it's a little bit warm in Mongolia. Um, just for your
Yeah.
information, we're all on the same time zone as Mongolia. So he was telling us that it's a little bit warm, and the temperature now is about like as the temperature goes, it's going to be like 24 degrees Celsius, but negative, minus 24, and that is considered warm in Mongolia. Yeah, that was like we always have this like perception when people was telling like, oh, how
Mm.
warm or how cold is it? So you must always ask like specifically what is the temperature to really get a good grasp of the current climate in the places that you want to travel. So here's a little introduction about Buggy.
Especially
Yeah, Buggy and his professional team is our partner based in Ulaanbaatar, and his company curates many exciting trips that can bring you to go to most of the parts in Mongolia. Yeah. So before I hand the baton to Buggy, if you have any questions or like to tell us something, put them in the comments box. And we'll see you later, Mabel, as I prepare to get Buggy ready for his presentation.
okay, see you later.
So Buggy, now the floor is yours. You may start.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I mean, I would like to ask people, I mean, what they normally associate Mongolia with, like when they hear about Mongolia. A lot of people do think that Mongolia is all about grasslands, or many people would have heard about Genghis Khan, or as we pronounce Chinggis Khan, the great, basically, nomad and warrior of the 15th century. But in fact, Mongolia is all of that, but then much more than that. Much more than that. You probably it's on this tour. I mean, I would like to talk a little bit about a cycling tour that is called the Land of Chinggis Khan, and this tour takes place uh, in northwestern part of Mongolia. You probably know that Mongolia sits right between Russia and China. It sits in the center of Northeast Asia, but we are quite a large country actually. It's like territory wise, size wise, I think we are number 18 after Iran and before Peru. So basically, Iran is number 17, Mongolia 18, and Peru is 19. To tell you, basically, to give you a an idea, a proportional idea, we are 3 times larger than France. Yeah. So that's how big Mongolia is. We have two neighbors, which is Russia and China, but we are landlocked. The nearest sea to us is the Yellow Sea, the nearest, and that is 700 kilometers away from from us. And But there's another quite an interesting, probably shocking factor, because I looked up today, and I saw that the population density in Singapore was over 8,000 people per square kilometer. Yeah, I think I think I'm not wrong on that. I saw the correct data, but in Mongolia, that figure is only 1.7 people. So imagine you have this, you have a square of 1 kilometer, a land of 1 kilometer, and then you only have 1.7 people. So that's I think this contrast probably makes the two countries really. I mean, this is probably the biggest contrast, between the two countries, but not the only contrast for sure. Yeah, as we are like at this moment, what we have. We are in the middle of we are in the beginning of spring, and with 20 degrees negative, and it's I heard that it's just the opposite on your end with with nearly 30 degrees. Yeah, so this is Mongolia, and in Mongolia we have, of course, we have grasslands. We have huge grasslands. Yeah, but then we also have mountains. We have high mountains. The highest mountain in the country is over 4,000 meters. Yes, and and these are proper mountains with ice and glaciers where you can do mountaineering. And we also have, of course, we have the largest desert of Asia, which is the Gobi Desert. Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit more, some interesting facts about the desert, about Gobi at the end of today's chat. Yeah, but let me now get on with the tour. Yeah, and then as you know that, and then so we have this little map, and then it tells you where Mongolia is actually. You can see there's this huge territory of China, of People's Republic of China, which includes a territory called Inner Mongolia. So the country that where I am now is Mongolia. Is the green territory, and you can see how far we are from Hong Kong, and from Hong Kong we are 4 hours by air, and whatever time is required further south to reach Singapore from Hong Kong. I think in total that's about 6 hours flight. Not too bad actually. Yeah. And Mongolia can be in the center of the map. You have the capital of Ulaanbaatar, and the only air gateway is via the capital, but flights you can get to Mongolia via Seoul, via Hong Kong, when provided Hong Kong opens soon. Japan, Russia, Germany, Turkey. So we have quite a few gateways too. Yeah. So that's so that you don't get confused with Inner Mongolia that is part of China. We are a little bit to further north of that. Okay, so that's gives the idea where Mongolia is, and let's get on our cycle tour. I mean, it's and especially after the pandemic, when everyone will be looking to to practice sort of kind of self sort of distanced, or the social distanced travel. Cycling in Mongolia would probably be one of the perfect ways to do that. So here we have you have this group of cyclists from your side of the globe, and they are ready to take the exciting journey through the grasslands of Mongolia. On cycle tours, we do provide quite good bikes. So those people who are really in love with their uh, you know bikes they can bring. But then for most of the people we can most of the people we can supply with their iron mounts. Yeah. And here, so the like as soon as you as soon as you set off on this tour, you what you see is this is the open space. This is the open. This is the, I mean, I can't remember what is the word. That is what is the antonym. What is the opposite word of claustrophobia? But I think a lot of people may feel the opposite here. Okay, when you, yeah, but then basically this is you have this open space and horizon that is far away. You see it for miles and miles away. And then the striking fact is that, of course, it's actually only you and not many people that you meet on this journey. So here we have this. I think this is a photo from the Travel Wonder group. Yeah, I mean they are their first day of the tour, and then as you start cycling, I think the first. I mean, you don't see many people, but you see a lot of this, a lot of four-legged creatures, sheep and goats, and in fact, Mongolia has a lot of them. In the average, we have about 60 million animals, including horses, sheep, and goats, and camels, and that's the mainstay of the rural economy. The nomadic people, the nomadic Mongols, they live off the animals. They keep them for food, for milk, for wool, for cashmere. In fact, it's probably it would probably interesting to hear that we are one of the main exporters of cashmere, of goat cashmere. Yeah, so it's quite a precious commodity. So on this tour, here we have a picture of a nomad, and then in the far distance on the right hand side you have his home. It's his nomadic tent. So this is a wooden structure and covered with felt, and this is the house. Well, this is the house which is where these people, where the nomads live. But then the good thing about them is that they are uh, suited for they're suited for migrations, because when living a nomadic life, you need to be able to move frequently, depending on how good is the pasture and where's the better grass, where's drinking, and where's good water for drinking for the animals. So it's it's really need to be nomadic, basically your lifestyle. Okay, here we have this is a cyclist. Okay, and then you can see that the road surface on these bike tours, on the bike tours that we offer, the road surface is quite, I would say, is easy. Is easy. I mean, a lot of people imagine that it's gonna be difficult because they are off tarmac, and for many people, Mongolia would be their first experience to cycle on the gravel. But this is the so-called packed ground, packed soil. That is to say, it has no rocks, and it's kind of smooth, and it's easy for let's say not very experienced cyclists. And these are car tracks, and then you can see that like for the majority of such ways, we don't have any traffic. There's no car traffic, which is very good. Okay, and then we have Mongolia. I think we have about 250 days with sunshine in Mongolia. So this is the sky that you're gonna be seeing, and it isn't just. I mean, it's not a Photoshop actually. It's the actual, color of the sky. that you that you're gonna see on the tour. So you have here you have the cars, the support vehicles, and you can notice they have those stands for bikes. And here's a group that is gathering for I think for a break. And the support team always drives ahead to provide some drinks and refreshments, but it's always close enough to offer you a lift if there is if there is very strong, if you are tired, or if there is very strong wind that you cannot cycle anymore, or if you just need to take a break. I mean, the support is always close enough to help you. Right. So on this tour, you will, the accommodation on these tours is traditional. Yeah, you will experience the sleeping in the traditional tents. And here we have one of those camps that we'll be going to for one of the nights. Okay, and from the first part of the tour is a distinct grassland. So it's open space with which has no trees. But the second part, we here coming to the so-called to a national park. But this national park is the southernmost part of if you imagine Mongolia Mongolia has part of Siberia. The southernmost part of Siberia finishes in Mongolia. So this national park where these two guys are standing, this one is alike to Siberia. So it has trees, and it's got nice. You see here you have these meadows, you have trees, and then you have a lot of grass, and then you have you have water, you have rivers. Yeah. Well, I guess some people will see will find themselves on on this image, and you can take it's quite a relaxed cycling. You can take pictures, and then depending on the season, actually throughout most of the season, throughout most of the summer, you have these carpets of flowers that you can photograph and to take back and show your friends. So that's the national park, and where the national park is a place where we actually find even less people than on the open grassland. Right. And just between the grassland and the national park, we get a chance to visit herders. I mean, seeing always, of course, I mean, people feel curious about what it would actually be to go inside one of those homes and see how they live. And such visits are impromptu. They are random. We don't have an established or a pre-agreed place or pre-agreed family to go and visit, but we just pick one along the way and knock on the door and say hello, and then of course your guide tells that these are people from Singapore. They live in high rises, and they there's 8,000 of them on one square kilometer. so they are very much interested how these people, how they live in the Mongolian conditions. So I mean, it's quite a nice. You can see the interior of the ger is quite nice. So you have this wooden structure, and then it is covered with canvas and with felt. Yeah, and just to so that it's actually one room home. Yeah, you don't have separate rooms for different purposes, like a kitchen or a living room or a bedroom. Everything is in here. Yeah, everything is in there. And then I'm sure you'll have more questions when visit such a home in reality. Yeah, and here we have some hosts, who are, it's like living in the steppe is requires a lot of people in the steppe. The herders are very hospitable, very hospitable. On the other hand, you might think, oh, how would we go and just knock on the door randomly? But then on the other hand, because people live far apart, they are also quite interested in visitors, in passerbys, because you want to be sort of to know things about other people, and you want some interaction. So it's people are always happy to greet you and offer some food and drink. So that's something you gotta experience. And here we have local boys, and it's one of the people. Children spend a lot of children spend their summer holidays out in the countryside, helping their families or their relatives who tend horses and animals. And it's one of the probably best ways of spending summer holidays. Yeah, you are out in the pristine sort of nature. You have the freedom. That's what I wanted to say. You have the freedom. You have horses. I mean, for these boys, that's the best way. Yeah, to be away from home. Yes, and here we have an image of a herd of horses. Every day, people catch a couple of horses that they ride throughout the day. Well, nowadays, many herders, they use motorbikes to herd the animals, but it's actually sometimes you might think that you would see there's more motorbikes than people on horseback, and in recent times, owning horses is becoming more of a how do you call it? More of a prestige thing. So he is on the tour. We have I think it's in the first day we have a tour of a small a short visit to the center of the city. Here you have the main square of the capital, Ulaanbaatar. It's so I mean it's quite a large square, and then all around we will have a walk, and then you can take photographs. I mean, square is a popular place for for city people and for young people to meet each other, and it's a place where people gather for reunions, and it is a tradition to have a group photo for reunions for when there's a wedding. So Ulaanbaatar, until 30 years ago, Ulaanbaatar was quite a small city. It then had 600,000 people, but nowadays nearly half of the population, which is 3.3 million, half of the population lives in Ulaanbaatar. And then now you can see that a lot has changed. We have many high rises that have been built. But then it's walking, visiting just the center, you still are able to see the different, the two distinctly different cities. The old Ulaanbaatar with the Buddhist temples and Buddhist temples, and then you have the modern districts too. Yeah. This is what you see from the window of your hotel. And also a part of the program, part of the tour program is a traditional show where you watch dances, folk songs, and it would be quite interesting for you to hear throat singing. Throat singing. This is something quite special, and this is basically producing, when a male singer produces two different sounds simultaneously. One sound comes from his vocal cords, and the other one comes from the mouth, I would say. So that's I think it's kind of similar to the Australian Aboriginals, like a didgeridoo, and I mean the way of breathing where you have this circular breathing where you just breathe and sing without stop. Right. So this is okay. I think here we are basically in the beginning of the. Let me just check. Sorry, one. Yeah, we are in the beginning. This is the beginning of the second tour.
Yes, this is the hiking program, the Active Fun in Mongolia.
Yeah. I think that's it. And this hiking tour starts with this visit to the city. I'm sorry. Yeah, and as soon as you leave the town, when you leave the town, the first place that we head to is called the Mini Gobi. It's in central Mongolia. But it's not the Gobi yet. It's not the Gobi proper, but it's comprised of sand dunes, granite mountains, and open grasslands. So it offers a diversity, a variety of landscapes to see, and this is but these sand dunes, they do originate further south in the Gobi, and then that's why we call them a mini Gobi. And on this tour, on the hiking tour, we'll be heading our first stop, our first night will be with a real nomadic family, and we'll be having a special tent built for you by the side of the family, and these hosts will offer you to learn about their life and about their culture, for 2 days basically. And the activity that we have here, they are comprised of a visit to a nature reserve, and this nature reserve, we will have a chance to find some ruins of medieval, ancient Buddhist temples. And here on the cliff you see a temple that is being restored, but then just before below the cliff you have the ruins of the old temple, of the old monastery. And then it has a very interesting history that your guide will tell you about. And this history is and this is to hike here will actually come with a car and hike and take a time to hike in the mountains, and and explore these ruins. And here at the family, that at our hosts, we have horses, and then you can take part in their daily routine, in their daily chores. You see that the hostess is milking a female horse, a mare, and the horse milk is a very popular drink with Mongolians, and that's actually in some parts people sustain for days and weeks. They sustain on this milk. So, but you will not be asked, you will not be required to sustain on milk while staying there, but you can still try, help the hosts to do some work, and be sort of be of use. So here we have that's one of the activities that you'll be doing too. That's that's riding those stocky kind of the Mongolian horses are they would seem to you quite short, and they are short. They're only 14 hands, yeah, but they're very strong and stocky. And you can imagine that they can endure those temperatures that we have with the winter temperatures and the summer temperatures. So these are quite the Mongolian horses is a very special and special breed of horses. So by riding horses, we will on a horseback we will go and explore some petroglyphs, some ancient petroglyphs, and these have been. I mean, not many people go to these petroglyphs really. Yeah, and that's will be quite special because although the whole area is is visited, but this very part of it isn't visited by people. So you will be one of those few people who would see these petroglyphs rock carvings here, and you can see this I think a man holding two oxen, I think, yeah, leading two oxen. So, and another activity, so you have those mountains there, and then you have the sand dunes. Another activity will be riding camels. You will have a shorter experience of riding camels. Camels in Mongolia are quite have two humps compared to dromedaries, and they do. And I mean that suggests that sitting between the two humps should be quite comfortable. Yeah, that's what most people imagine, but you will find out. I mean, I'm not trying to discourage you, but this will be quite a special experience, and I'm sure you'll love it. You love riding camels, and of course, I mean, you will take photos, and then you'll have memories to show your family and friends. And also we can do some while in the area. There's hiking in the dunes, and that's also interesting because it is the mini Gobi. So you're actually winning, by not going to the Gobi proper, but still visiting Gobi. So we'll have some dune hikes too. Yeah, and so we'll have 2 nights. I mean, a little bit later, I think I'll be telling you about the accommodations, more detail about the accommodation. That this part is basically here I'm covering the activities that you'll have, and here we are in the national park, which we visit on the way back to Ulaanbaatar, and the national park is the home where we have reintroduced the wild horses, some starting from 30 years back in 1992, and this was the time when in the whole world there were, think about 200 horses, but all in different zoos in Europe, primarily in Europe. And then it was decided that to bring these horses to Mongolia, to their native land, where we had them until the middle of 20th century, and to reintroduce them, basically to bring different horses from different zoos and reintroduce them. And this was a very successful project, reintroduction project. And today there's over 400 horses which really are wild and live in the wilderness. So we will see, we'll have a chance to see the wild horses, and then we'll have in the same national park, we can see that this requires a little bit of luck, but we still might see red deer, because there's 1,500 of them at this moment, red deer. And of course you will see tons of these little rodents. I mean, these are marmots, actually. These are baby marmots, but then they grow much bigger, and these are rodents that you will find in tens and in hundreds. Basically, they'll be running all across the place. Yeah. So that's so these all these animals we will see in a place called Hustai National Park. Okay, and we'll spend the last night. We'll spend the last night in that park, in a camp, in a visitor camp, and then the next day when we continue to Ulaanbaatar, you'll come by a place which offers a stylized like a theatrical show of the Mongolian traditional lifestyle of the early 20th century. Yeah, compared to the life ways of nomads today, this is a bit more colorful. You will see people moving, like doing the traditional migration. You can see here you have this carts driven by yaks, and you have this the clothing a little is the type of clothing you would have come across if you came to Mongolia some 50, 70 years ago. All the clothing that people here have, and you have this you will see also, and this is the traditional the dairy products made in the traditional way. So you have some cheese and curds. So all in all, it is it's a chance to see basically the essence of nomadic life, the essence of nomadic existence, which is the only possible, which was the only possible way of existence in such conditions, in the conditions of Asian grasslands, where it's dry and where you have where which isn't suitable for crop growing, and yeah. So and this is the way of life that's been there for thousands of years. Right. So that's this is the one of the spectacles that we see on the tour. And now let me please tell about the logistics. I mean, what we have for the transport, what kind of food you will have, what kind of accommodation, where you will be sleeping. Well, I mean, it is a tour that offers quite a comfortable logistical solution. So you'll have this kind of uh, vehicles. They are air conditioned, and you have 4 passengers, 5 to 4 passengers in one vehicle. So and you be driven by drivers who actually do enjoy traveling themselves, because for most of the year they have different occupations, and in summertime, I mean, the travel season in Mongolia is basically is the summer, is the summertime. It's 3 to 4 months in the summer, and it's a chance for people, for the drivers to get out of the city, and be in the free open space too, together with you. So, and for accommodations, we'll be using this kind of gear camps. This is the gear camp that you'll be staying at on the second night. Basically, on the second night after leaving Ulaanbaatar, and this is a camp where there's no electricity, there's no running water, but all of this is compensated by like steam towels. It's compensated by dry by eco bathrooms. But then, most importantly, in fact, all of the nights outside of Ulaanbaatar, you will have very little access to internet. So it's I guess and especially here, it will be a good. You'll be unplugged basically. You'll be unplugged from whatever digital, and yeah, it's a good what do you call it? It's a good detox basically. It's a good detox, digital detox. Yeah, and Mongolia is a place. Of course, I mean we all of these, the internet networks are becoming wider and wider with every year, but still, because Mongolia is so vast and wide, it's never too much basically. Yeah, this is one of the restaurants that we'll be eating in. So this is a traditional gear, and then this is stylized as it would be as a king's gear would be back in time. So that's what we're gonna be eating. And here, yeah, it's a bathroom. It's a bathroom, and it's a dry bathroom, and in a place where in a place there's very little water, the kind of ecological solutions are vital, and I'm sure you'll find them quite amusing too. Okay, so this is the Ger camp. This is the camp that we go to on the last night before coming back to Ulaanbaatar, where we after seeing the wild horses, the red deer, marmots, and other animals and birds, we'll come back here, and then we'll stay here for the night. This is, I mean, the whole thing is actually managed by an NGO. It is an example of a very successful management of a successful management of a national park by an NGO, and that's their whole conservation and animal preservation efforts are actually are financed by their tourism income. So that's a very good example of such a project. Okay, so this is your guest room. This is your guest room. This is the room where you'll be sleeping. You see this colorful. I mean, not all of them are this colorful, but some are. So you get a bedding, you get a blanket, you get pillows, and in a gear, such rooms are normally twins or triples. It's rare that I mean, here you see 4 beds, but it's rare that there are 4 beds. So on your tour, you'll most probably you would normally stay in 2s or 3s. Yeah. And for colder nights, so he's another type. So on colder nights, you get you can use a stove. So that's a stove which provides actually a lot of heat if required. Even in summer, the nights it can be chilly in the evening, but then it will be a good experience for you to just to make a fire. It would be something that you don't do at home every day. Yeah, and then and also it keeps you warm for the night. The stove, that is the fireplace that is in the center, in the middle of the ger, and this is a typical breakfast that you find in ger camps, and breakfasts are quite Western, I would say, and so are the meals. We'll have some traditional food when staying with the nomadic family, but in ger camps, because they cater for visitors, you'll have quite digestible food like this here on the image. Okay, so right, so I guess I mean, this. So this is the information about the two tours that we will be offering. I'm just, I mean, like one of them is the cycle tour, and the other one is the hiking tour. And I thought I was asked to give a little bit insight about the Gobi Desert, and then and if you look at this map if you look at this map, you'll realize that Gobi Desert isn't just in Mongolia. Half of it is actually lying in China, and it's huge. It's very huge. It's the largest in Asia, and it sits in the back. It sits in the rain shadow of the Himalaya. If you like towards the south of the desert, of the edge of the desert, which is on this map, you will find Tibet and Himalayas. So why it is so dry, why it doesn't get any moist, is because it sits in the rain shadow of the Himalaya. That means the precipitation, humidity from the Indian Ocean doesn't reach there. On the east side, we have the yellow sea is 700 km, and towards the north, of course, is the Great Siberia that separates Mongolia from the Arctic. So that's the Gobi Desert. But yet, the Gobi Desert isn't just a place where nothing happens, nothing grows, and no one exists. No one exists. It's a place where it would be interesting to tell you that the majority of Mongolian goats are bred in the Gobi Desert. So that means that there is vegetation, there is grass, and there is water for animal husbandry. For visitors, Gobi offers great sand dunes like one here. And then it also, the Gobi is famous, both in Mongolia and in Inner Mongolia. Gobi has those dramatic landscapes. It has those places which are famous for dinosaur fossils. Many species of dinosaurs have been unearthed in the Gobi Desert. And if visiting the Gobi today, you can still go to such places, and then every year there is rainfall. Every year you have the spring snow melt, which sometimes still opens new bones, new remains of new treasures of paleontology, new paleontological treasures. So this is still there, and it's interesting. Mongolia is very dry in general, and also towards the north we have the permafrost. Yeah, and these two conditions allow us to have these two conditions. They are very beneficial for preservation of artifacts, both historic and, well, let's say also paleontological. So, and that's why on the whole of territory of Mongolia we have thousands and thousands of historical artifacts that still lie in the ground, so in the Gobi you get such beautiful places too. So this is the sunrise, and and I guess it's you see the same horizon when in the sea. It's boundless. So here's a nomadic home. That's also in the Gobi, and then you can actually see that it's not just sand and rock, but you get vegetation, and you have the animals there. So here you have some activities, and these are local people who live far apart and who are always happy to greet visitors and passerbys. And cycling in the Gobi is, when planning routes, we choose the parts of the desert which are elevated, so that is to say that which are cooler, and also, of course, it's the terrain and road conditions that we choose the best terrains and road conditions, to have the route be interesting and diverse. So it isn't. I mean, you shouldn't think that when you cycle in the Gobi, it's just one huge open plain and it's in heat. No, it's quite different. Yeah, and this is wild camping in the Gobi. Yeah, and when providing such camps, we do sort of strive to to allow as much comfort as possible. So people stay the night in these yellow tents, and then you have the restaurant or the dining tent on the far right, and then in the center, in the center, in the back, you see the bathroom tent. But also we do provide field showers, so it's quite a it's camping in style. It's camping in style. Well, yeah, that's it, I think. Yeah, I mean, so telling about the Gobi, I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's the Gobi is huge, and the Gobi is one of the most, I think, attractive places especially for people from your part of the world. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Buggy, for the wonderful presentation. It brought back a lot of my memories when
Okay.
I last traveled to Mongolia in 2019 with some of our viewers who is also online at the present moment now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So before you pack your bag to get on to a trip in Mongolia, let's take a look at what are some of the entry requirements that are in place at the present moment. So to get into Mongolia, every travelers would now need to provide a negative result of your PCR test administered by a trained professional within 72 hours prior to your flight into Mongolia, right? And then you are also required to wear face masks in public, right? So besides Hong Kong, which is a VTL destination, you can also fly via Bangkok or Seoul, which is the other two VTL destinations. And in the near future, when borders starts to open up to more countries, you may also consider to fly into Mongolia via Beijing or Tokyo. Right. And then upon return, here are what is the current entry requirements for returning Singaporeans or PRs. So you need to provide also a negative result of a PCR or ART test administered by a trained professional within 2 days prior to the flight to Singapore. And when you return here, you need to serve a 7-day stay-home notice for 7 days for those who are fully vaccinated and 14 days for those who are non-vaccinated. And then at the end of your stay-home notice, you need to do a mandatory PCR test. Okay, so if the SHN is not going to deter you and you're ready to pack your bags to go, you may be pleased to know that we have 4 tours on our calendar. these are the trips that Buggy has gone through earlier on, the active fun in Mongolia, which includes a lot of the activities as well as hiking. The other one is the land of Genghis Khan ride, which is suitable for even beginner cyclists. Later on, we're going to play a video on to showcase the trip that we did in 2019 so that you have a better overview on what to expect on a cycling vacations in Mongolia. Then the other two, which is more suitable for the intermediate hikers as well as intermediate cyclists, is a hike as well as a Gobi Desert ride. So all this trip will take place in 2022, June and August, as well as 2023. The dates are also available on our website. So over the next few days, we will be posting about all these trips onto our social media platforms. So keep a lookout for them. But if you can't wait, feel free to let us know and we'll send you a private message with a direct link to all these itineraries. Right. So before we look at all your comments as well as questions, I'm going to show you another video which Buggy has taken a ride at the edge of Siberia. Here it goes. Enjoy. How was it? Anyone is already hands up to go to Mongolia? We are ready to take in your registration anytime. Yeah, so before I bring up the questions that you have, I'm going to play a video of the cycling trip that we did in 2019. It will play on the background as we look at the comments and questions. So Buggy, are you ready to answer all their questions? Let me see. Okay. Here we have something from Adeline. She says that this is one of her most memorable cycling trip that she had. Yeah, and I will fully agree with her. Right. The idea of cycling freely without traffic. Yes, this is something that we don't really have to worry about when you cycle in Mongolia. That's why it's freedom cycling. You can cycle anywhere you want as long as you can see Buggy ahead of you. Am I right?
Okay. Well, it can be faster too, no?
Yes. Here, Angeline says that you told us that it is easy, however, it's undulating. I guess all of us have a different perspective of how flat the terrain is. Right. Let me see. I think we have questions here. Just let me go through. Ah, okay. This one, Susan. She asked, no toilet? How about the bathroom? I guess she's referring to the girl camp.
Is it about the girl
Again,
camp?
would you like to take this?
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, if the question is regarding the girl camps, we do have bathrooms at the girl camps. Yeah, and and they are quite conventional. So there are but if when we are riding, when we are on the road, then it's well, it's the open step, and then what we need to do is that we just need to find a hideaway to do the business. But in the worst case, because as repeated many times, that it's vast open step, then and if there is nothing to go behind, this can be our vans. But the needs when on the bike are, we sort of, we do it the natural way there. Okay. Yeah. But in girl camps we do have proper girl camp, proper bathrooms.
Yes, as you travel in Mongolia, everywhere is toilet. I would say that on the Mongolian steppes. As long as nobody can see you, you can do
Yeah,
your business.
you can basically, you can basically walk away until no one sees you. Yeah, that's easy.
And
That's easy.
exactly, I think some of the best um people here that can advise you what is their experience for doing that are like Angeline, Adeline, and Priscilla. They will be the best person to tell you what is their experience of using the nature toilets in Mongolia. Right. So the next question I have here, I must bring Mabel up because this is asked by her.
Hmm.
She wants to ask Buggy, are you able to sing their song for us? Are you referring to the throat singing?
All right. Well, I mean, certainly, Mongolians do sing well, and we can have, some of the people accompanying us, even the drivers or the cooks. I mean, it's they are always happy to present the song. Yeah, and especially if we get some time in the evening after dinner, maybe a little bit of drink, then of course, man, people are happy. Are happy to sing, and it's a singing nation. About throat singing, yeah, we can try. All of us can try. Yeah, and then we can. I can tell you the technique, and we can try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe the next time when I go Mongolia, you can demonstrate for me in person.
Oh
I
yeah,
think that
yeah.
will
I'll
be
try.
better.
I'll try. Yeah, I'll try.
So we have to include a new experience for the evening, that is to learn how to do throat singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Okay, here Adeline remarked that she wants to ride a camel the next time she goes to Mongolia. Sure, certainly, we will make sure that we include that for you. Anytime Mongolia is waiting for you. And as what Buggy says, it is definitely a very good destination to do digital detox because when
All
you're
right.
out in the
Yeah.
gear camp in the Mongolian steppes, there is hardly any internet connections, and then that is
Hmm.
the best time where you reconnect back to the nature and enjoy the evening under millions of starry nights. Right? Then let me see
Yes.
what's next here. Oh yes, definitely. The bathroom looked very nice. The one that was in Buggy's presentation.
Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah, and then this one, no need to pump water and limit to how many millimeters per person to use. Yes, there was one night when we are up in the highlands. That was at the King's Girl Camp, where there was literally no water available at the girl camp. But what we had was we brought portable water with us. But then we have to ration the amount of waters each person has to use, and that was quite a memorable and hilarious experience. That how do we utilize the amount of water that was like rationed to us, to as we try to wash our hair, to shower, to brush our teeth, as well as to ration it for as a drinking water. Yeah, it was really a very memorable experience, and I think it sets all of us back to remember that water is actually a very precious commodity in today's time. Not everybody is as fortunate as us, where we can just walk to the kitchen, turn on the tap, and then there is running water there. Yeah. Let me see what else we have here. Okay. Mabel would like to know, what is the staple diet in Mongolia? Is it possible to cater to special diets like vegetarian?
Oh, that's easy. That's easy. I mean, compared to the times, when modern tourism had just started in Mongolia. Nowadays, it's easy to cater for vegetarians and even for vegans. It's possible. Vegans and people who are, restricted to not having, what do you call it, the gluten free people. Yeah,
Yes.
even these diets, even such diets can be accommodated. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So there's no problem with the diet. Oh,
Okay.
these
All
are the
right.
What is
stars.
the usual staple food that you'll be getting to eat in Mongolia?
While on the tour, or you mean in general?
On the tour.
On the tour, well, on the tour you get stir fries, you get soups, vegetable soups, you get noodle soups, you get salads, you get vegetable salads. Yeah, and some
Mm-hmm.
desserts too. Yeah, but these are, I would say,
Okay.
uh, especially if you come on that especially on that the active fun hiking tour.
Yes.
We get for lunch and dinners we get stir fries.
I
Yeah,
see.
very
Okay.
very super. But some vegetables too. Yeah, quite
Yes,
edible.
I remember our expedition coach, the coach who traveled with us. She will ensure that we do not have a repetitive food that we ate, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's for lunch or for dinner. So every meal is a surprise.
Nice.
Yeah. So Faustina here would like to ask, when is the best time to travel to Mongolia?
Well, the best. Hi, who is it? Faustina. Okay, hello, Faustina. The best time to travel to Mongolia is the summer. Is basically is June to the end of September. Yeah. Well, I mean this is the length of our travel season. But if you ask me what is the best time within these 4 months, then I would say it would be uh, uh, July and August.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
I think yes. Buggy, please carry on.
no, I'm saying there's a 4 month period which is the usual travel season. But within that travel season, I mean the 4 month from June to September, but within that period, it's July and August, which is the best interval to travel.
Yes, I guess for travelers for Singapore, the best time to go is definitely July and August, because the temperature is comfortable for us, whether it's in the day or in the evenings. Because in Mongolia, even during the summer times, as long as the sun sets, the temperature will drop drastically. But during these 2 months, it is still very comfortable for us from tropical countries. So if you are really considered to go to Mongolia for a vacation, perhaps this is the 2 months you will want to consider. Yeah, for our trips, normally we will plan it during the month of August. Faustina also asked, what is the cost of the PCR test for both ways? So for Singapore, the cost has come down fairly affordable now. So if I'm not mistaken, the last that I checked for the PCR test for your pre-departure from Singapore, I think it costs about $130. Is that the cost, Mabel, you did last November? Do you
I
still
did
remember that?
it at about 156, but I think it depends on different clinics, the price. So it's around there.
Okay. Buggy, would you share with us what is the cost of the PCR test in Ulaanbaatar now?
It's from.
Do you have any idea?
It's yeah, I do have an idea. It's anything from 20 to 30 US dollars. Yeah, I don't know how much it translates. 20 to 30 US.
Oh, okay, okay. That is not too bad.
That's very reasonable.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, here so maybe you can get ready to send in an invoice to our dear friend here, Adeline, who is ready to go for a ride in the Gobi Desert.
And we add the camel riding then.
Yes, that is a must.
Yes, that's right.
That is a must. Yes. And then maybe a renewal for the girls also. Right, let me see. Any more questions we have? Okay, Nick. Hello, Nick. Nick asked, are we allowed to fly drones in Mongolia for video taking?
Yeah.
I think we can.
Yeah. I think we can. Yes, for sure. You're right. Yes.
Do we have to apply permit from the goats or from the horses?
Well, from their owners, maybe. Yeah, from their owners. No, not really. We don't. I mean, it's really free to take do drone flights.
Okay. Right, let me see what else here.
I think what's really
Okay.
funny is that the toilet conversation got everybody going on and on about how they had the best toilet experience in Mongolia.
Oh yes.
It's definitely one of the kind of experience that you couldn't really do it anywhere except probably in Mongolia, in the more remote places. Yes.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's definitely a culture shock for the beginning, but after that, once you get used to it, after the first time, the second time, I must say every one of us really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think everybody misses it now.
Right. You could probably advise on an exercise, on a squatting exercise before you go on the tour, maybe. to make your leg muscles stronger before you go.
Yes, that's right.
And having to say this, Angeline has a word for advice. It's when you go on a ride in the Mongolia, please do not follow Buggy. Which she end up have to do a water dance. Yeah. Indeed, on the land of Genghis Khan ride, there are a lot of experience we actually try on. Not only just doing cycling on the vast Mongolian steppes, we actually try a little bit of river crossing, and then also not only just grassland. You will also see fields of flowers, just like the image that is behind Mabel now. Okay, that is a part that we did on one of the days as we cycled. And then we also had some challenging rides as we have to ride up undulating terrains to get to the King's Girl Camp, which is not a regret. Although we are there asking ourselves, why are we on this ride? Why are we on this tour? But once we arrive at the girl camp, yes, there's no regrets. There's definitely no regrets. So if you want to see more or would like to know more about the trip, please do not hesitate to contact us anytime. Right? So I can see that it's coming to what time? Oh, almost coming to 10 o'clock. So we have
Yeah.
come to almost the end of our presentation today about active holidays in Mongolia. So 2 weeks later, we are going to bring you to another destination, and that will be Kyrgyzstan. We're going to discuss why you should visit Kyrgyzstan in 8 reasons. It's going to take place on 9th of March at the same time slot at 8:30 p.m. So once again, thank you, Buggy. Thank you so much for your time to join us to
Thank you.
share about Mongolia.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes.
You're very
And
welcome.
also we want to thank all our followers and viewers for staying with us. I guess today is one of the longest live broadcasts we have did in 2022. Thank you for your
Okay.
Yes, I think
enthusiasm.
so.
And thanks for tuning in to Weeknights with Wonder Girls by Travel Wonder. And we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks later. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Good
Goodbye.
night, everyone. Bye bye.